How do I get such high grosses in these dealerships? Down payment. Down payment is the key to profitability. Dealerships with low grosses have low down payments. Cash down is the key to everything, and you guys are bad at it. If I was to audit the books in most of your dealerships, if I was to pull 100 random deals from last month, if I was to pull all the deals from last month, and I was to look at the amount of cash down per finance deal, real cash, not trade equity, not rebate, real cash. Average dealership in this room is getting less than $250 real cash per finance deal, and you wonder why you're not making grosses. The one thing that you should be doing more of, and the one thing I teach people how to get down payment because dealerships do such a lousy job. Now, Josh, since I've been working with you guys, how's down payments?
Oh, it's went up drastically.
How much? Rod?
I'd say probably average per car is probably pushing 1,000.
Yeah.
And what were you getting before?
Nothing, especially on the used car side.
Mm-hmm. So you're over $1,000 per finance deal down payment. And that's below my average. My average is over $1,600. You rarely, because the sales department forgot how to get down payment. They're weak at it. The customer can attack you on the price. The customer can attack you on the payment. The customer can attack you on the trade allowance. The only thing the customer is weak and have to defend themselves is their lack of down payment, and our salesmen and our sales managers are weak at getting it. We do not do a good job. There's a secret to getting down payment. I can say it in one or two sentences. You never ask a consumer how much down payment they have, ever. You tell them how much the bank would like to see, and you put it on the worksheet. When you serve up that first set of figures to the customer, you serve up 20% down that nobody has discussed until right now.
Surprise.
Surprise. Sir, the market value of the vehicle you're buying is $31,000. Now, General Motors is giving you a $2,000 value option discount package included in that price. It's a promotional unit. They pre-discounted it. You also have a $3,000 cashback rebate, leaving you adjusted sale price of $29,000. Sir, our professional buyers have looked at the car you're selling to us, and based on what we're able to buy or sell similar vehicles, we're willing to buy your car right now, market value, somewhere between $16,111, $17,456. Now, Mr. Customer will be paying off your old car up to $17,000 with Ally Financial. Now, sir, as you know, the banks in Buffalo, including GMAC, including Ally Financial, would like to see as much as 20% down for preferred and premium financial programs. So we'd like to get a check from you for $5,819 down payment. That'll make your estimated monthly investment 48 payments of $611 to $621, depending on your personal credit. Write me that check for $5,891. I'll get it all started. That $5,891, nobody's discussed it till it shows up on the worksheet. That's the first time they heard about it. The banks would like to see as much as 20% down for preferred and premium financial programs. That's what they advertise. In your case, we'd like to get a check from you today for $50. I haven't got that kind of money. Damn. Well, sir, I can certainly get you financed with less down payment. Listen to my word track, no down payment. The banks do not require 20%. Ideally, that's what they'd like to see. I can certainly get you financing with less down payment. How close to that $5,891 can you come up with? How much do you feel you're going to be short?
58.
I've heard that too. But you know what? Down payment is the key to profitability, and my dealerships are getting triple the down, 4, 5, 6 times the down payment other dealerships are getting. My dealerships are coming in $26,000, $27,000, even $3,000 a car, and I've got other dealerships coming. You know what the average around the country is right now? $1,700, front and back. That's pitiful. And dealerships say, well, we're average. Yep, average is the exact point where sucks starts. When you are average, you are the leader of the sucks. Yep, we're average. We're right in the middle. Yep, that's the top of suck. You are king of suck. Excuse me. I don't want to be average. Only one sled dog has a view. 8 sled dogs, what are they looking at? If I'm not up front, I'm nowhere, right?
Our people never ask for it. I see that on a regular basis.
It needs to come off the desk. The manager needs to ask for the down payment. And down payment cures all the ills in the dealership.
Where does that help the profitability?
What?
Where does that help the profitability? Just looking at it from a big picture.
Well, since most customers are payment buyers, if I'm financing less money at the same payment, I'm making more money, right? So when that down payment comes off and they're still making the same monthly payment, I'm making more money.
Now, let me throw something at you that might kind of sound wrong, but I only get paid off of the back end, and I want to finance as much as possible, because if I can mark it up 2 points, I would rather have 2 points off of 50,000 than I would 40,000. I really don't care if they make front end money, because I only get paid off the back end. I know that sounds
It doesn't matter. Listen closely. If they send in a carryback of X amount, then the customer can buy more stuff at the same payment they had in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I have down payment that lessens the carryback, then I can put more stuff on the back and have the payment that they'll still go for. So yeah, you do care. That make sense?
And the truth of the matter is, in this day and age, with all inequity that people are coming in, you don't want to have your backup at the bank. More down money just makes everything go up.
Let's talk about something else about down payment. Down payment doubles itself on a customer with less than a 0 or 1 level callback. Say I've got a customer with a 2 or 3 level callback. They're not totally subprime. A regular lender bought them, but they're level 2 or level 3 tier level. And I come up with an additional $1,000 down. What happens to the tier level? They get a better interest rate, right? So $1,000 more dollars down gives them a better interest rate, which means they're financing at a lower payment, and I can add more stuff. I can sell more F&I because I moved the interest rate. I can put $1,000 doubles itself. If that customer agreed to $300 a month, and I come up with another $1,000, and they move a tier level, but they're still at $300 a month, that $1,000 put $2,000 more into the deal. You follow what I'm saying? Because the money the bank would have taken in interest now goes into my carryback. Down payment cures all your problems. Now, with Ford Credit, and I'm not sure this is their current system, but Ford Credit used to add 1 point to every percentage over invoice, or deduct 1 point from the approval. They take like 121 points for a level 0. They would take 1 point off of the approval. And I had managers, I get these people approved with no down payment. Yes, you can, but you move their interest rate up, which means you could finance less at the same payment. So you don't make as much money as you wanted to make. Okay, gap protection. Let's get back to gap. That's where we were headed. We got a little sidetrack there, but I don't mind. Gap, guaranteed asset protection. What is the number one objection to buying gap? What are people telling you? I know what I'm looking for here.
I can write a check for it.
I can write a check for it. What's the number one objection? I've never told a car. What? Still not. The number one objection.
Insurance company will pay for it.
That's the one I'm looking for. Well, my insurance company sells gap. State Farm, Geico, they're all in the gap business now. All of a sudden, all the insurance companies are also selling gap, right? Now, here's an original Ziegler close on that. Mr. Customer, why would you create a conflict of interest for your insurance company? You're telling me that the company that carries your comp and collision insurance is also going to carry your gap policy. What if you had an accident that should be a total wreck, But now your insurance company's got to weigh whether or not to repair an unsafe car because the gap claim would have been higher. You created a conflict of interest with your insurance company. They might have to repair an unsafe car because the gap claim would have been higher. They've got they have to pay either way. Now they're going to say, what do we have to pay less, the gap claim or totaling out the car? Totaling out the car might be less expensive not to total out the car than pay the gap claim. Am I making good sense? Why would you, well, Mr. Ziegler, I live in a nice neighborhood. Nobody steals cars in this neighborhood. Sir, au contraire. People don't steal cars in the hood. People from the hood steal cars elsewhere. Excuse me. I live in a nice neighborhood. You know, that's where you find nice cars. You want to steal an I-8, you're not going to steal an I-8 in the hood. I can tell you the address where you can get one. I can tell you where you can find one, but it's not going to be in the hood, sir. I bet you got a little gap there, son. Yeah, so Gap is very, very good product. I can sell Gap all day long. One thing about Gap you need to do is create an evidence manual about Gap. Create an evidence manual about Gap. Now, what I mean by that, get with your Gap provider, whoever provides your Gap for your dealership. Do you know who that is?
Yes.
Get your Gap provider and say, look, I want a copy of all the letters and all the canceled checks if you're sending physical checks. I want the letter showing the amount of Gap you paid. We're going to obliterate the customer's name and we're going to put it in an album and show it to other customers. Because like I say, your average Gap claim is over $7,000 in most of your dealerships. When I start showing these customers $9,000, $8,000, $7,000, $5,000, $7,000, then I start showing them Gap claims that were paid. It doesn't necessarily even have to be my dealership's Gap, just that company's paid in my state. All of a sudden, I've got credibility here. Sir, these are some of the Gap claims my insurance company's paid this year. Remember, a catastrophic amount coming at you when you least expect it could totally disrupt your life. Sir, you get a $7,000, $8,000 Gap claim totally unexpected. I cannot get you another car with an outstanding Gap claim on a previous one. Even my secondary sources won't do it with an outstanding Gap. I can't even put you through subprime. You know, excuse me. And by the way, I think if I was in the car business, I'd be in subprime. That's fun.